This is Mr. Morin, the CAD and Engineering Graphics teacher at the Career Institute of Technology. I've been here 27 years, loads of experience working with students. That postcard that we just flashed in front of you, that's the front and back site. You can find that on our website. It gives you a lot of good information about the program. There's also videos on there that you can take a look at to see some of the equipment in action. Here's some pictures of some students that are working on our laser. They're ready to program it. We do community service activities outside of classroom activities, so we try to get involved in it as much as we can. Right here, you can see this student right here is working with Revit software. It is one of the standards in the industry for architecture, and they're actually drawing a house from the footer to foundation, the floor plans, and everything. Right here, you can see Connor's working on the same software, and they're designing and drawing up a house. A couple posters along the wall when you come into the classroom. You can also see the classroom is big and spacious. We got large desks to work with. Right here is a project that Connor O'Brien worked on, and the walls on here, you can see them going around, they were cut on the laser, so they were cut exactly the way that they're supposed to be cut. Some of the stuff we also do is hand work on it. A lot of the items in here also were run on the 3D printer. So we combine a lot of technologies when we work on projects. There's Delilah Diaz, former student, went to Penn State. She's working for an oil refinery right now, an oil company, and she's doing fantastic, making a real good living, got a 4-year degree from Penn State in mechanical engineering. Right here we have 3 students working on a project, and that project, you can see we have a nice spacious lab for them to work in, and we work in groups and teams quite often. This right here is an example of Inventor Software. The top drawing is what they call a wireframe drawing. The student drew that up, and then he converts it into what they call a solids model, and then they render it, they'll attach materials to it, and that would be the bottom drawing right there. These door pulls were drawn up and rendered in AutoCAD. This motor was drawn up, all the little pieces, we actually made it. It's on display over in the machine shop. They took our drawings and made the pieces. It's an air-operated motor. Right here, you're going to see this is an exploded view of a shaver. This shaver right here is kind of like what you would be doing out in industry. You draw the individual parts and then you put it together. The software is very exact, very precise, and it's a very good occupation to get into. Right here, we have a real basic house that we draw. This is kind of like the starter house. What I try to do here is just kind of teach you some of the basic terminology about footers, foundations, elevations. And we'll start that, and then we'll move into the heavier duty Revit stuff a little bit later. Right here, same type of thing. I'm starting to teach a little bit about framing. Here's a pole barn that's going to be constructed. It's kind of like the skeleton to the pole barn. Right here, you can see there's a floor plan. The sides will be cut out on the laser and to exactly what you drew, and very, very precise, and probably the little pieces of furniture on the inside will be made on the 3D printer. Here's a floor plan, and on this floor plan right here, you can see the squiggly lines. The numbers indicate the doors and the windows. The squiggly lines represent the electrical and the lights. We do design build projects. This one right here, we designed a park, and then the students made it. This was another group project. Right here we have the infamous meat grinder with all the parts. Right here, all individual. The students drew this up. It's one of our first 3D printer projects. Yeah, you can see the internal parts. Right here you have the railing. This railing was done by a student who followed it through machine shop, welding, and eventually it ended up on the house project, and he worked with the construction group. Right here we have another promotional bulletin board that we're working on, and the students putting it together. You can see we have big tables out in the shop, lots of modern equipment, lasers, welders, 3D printers, CNC program routers. Spaghetti bridges. Here we have a spaghetti bridge. Students took a pound of spaghetti and we're trying to see how much weight we can do it. It's kind of like a study in physics. Right here, here's a spaghetti bridge. With a pound of spaghetti, we held up to 32 pounds. The world record is like 1,200. So we got a long ways to go. Here's a little bit about the wages. I do recommend students come in here, keep your homeschool grades up, get as much as math as you can, and go on maybe to a 2 or 4 year school when you graduate. The more education you have in this field, the more money you're going to make. Right here is a list of the colleges that my students have gone to and graduated from. We have articulation agreements, so you can earn college credits by taking this course. Right here is a list of companies that students locally, and there's many more companies that my students have gone on to work at. So thank you for coming to our virtual open house. If you have any questions, you can ask them of me in the Zoom meeting. Don't forget to look at our website, look under CAD, and you can see videos, and you can take a look at the postcard, and there's other information about the program. So thank you very much for your time.